Okay, I'm Ruth Westoby, and we're going to break down a Vinyasa. So in the Ashtanga system, you do Vinyasas between your postures, which is like a mini sun salutation. So I'm going to get from standing to sitting, I'm going to go through Surya Namaskar A into a Vinyasa, and then I'm going to break them down into progressive stages so you can work wherever you're at. So starting with your feet together at the front of the mat, the toes might touch, the balls of the feet might touch, but there's a little bit of space between your heels. Standing down through your feet, energized through your legs, your torso is vibrant and poised, flooded with breath. Inhaling, reach up. Exhale, fold. Maybe you bend your knees to bring your hands to your legs or the floor. Maybe your legs stay straight over time. On an inhale, you open through the front body. Exhale, step all back and lower, flat or knees down or hover. Inhale, grounding through the inner hands, roll your heart through, spinning your shoulders back. And exhale to your downwards facing dog. And then the tricky bit is getting from here to sitting. So the flashy way to do it would be to jump through with straight legs, but it does take some time. So if you're working towards getting there, well, for all your seated postures, you do vinyasas in between the postures. So you'd start sitting, you'd cross your legs, you'd plant your hands into the floor, you'd lift up, jump through, lower into your chaturanga. You do your up dog and your down dog, so each part of it flows on a breath, and you come back through to sitting. So how do you get to that stage? The lifting up is the tricky part. So you can start with your legs crossed. If you put your hands on the floor beside your sit bones, and with straight arms and a straight spine, you try and lift yourself off the floor, it doesn't work. Your arms are pretty much the same length as your spine, and it's really hard to get anywhere. So if you move your hands forwards, in between your bum and your knees, then you move your head and your shoulders forward, so you're making a ball with your body, and you imagine you have wings spreading out from your kidneys, reaching out to the sides. So you can lift your feet off the floor. Then on an inhale, scoop the center of your spine up and back, and exhale, come back down to the floor. So it might not happen that your feet and your bum both come off the floor. You might keep your feet on the floor, and on an inhale, lift your spine, exhale, back down. You might lift your feet. But for some people, they find the other way works a little bit better. So lifting the feet, and then lifting the bum. So you're making your body into a ball, and you're kind of spinning the ball. If you think of just lifting the whole thing straight up, it doesn't really work. You're trying to work with the breath, and you're trying to spin it, and you need huge waves of enthusiasm. And you can also, I always switch my legs between them, so I just switch the cross of the legs. So you can lean back, uncross your legs, cross them the other way, and then try it again. And then it may be that you need to bring your hands in front of your knees to do your, to step back, because you're not yet lifting up and jumping through. And for some people, you'll actually come round to the side, so you'll need to come round like this. Bring your hands onto the floor, and then step or jump back, lower, and it might be that you're putting your knees down, and then rolling through, taking the shoulders back, and exhaling to your down dog. And to come back through to sitting, it might be that you bring your shoulders forwards over your hands, and you kind of hop back, cross the legs at the shins with the toes pointing back behind you. Then you can sit back down over your feet and straighten your legs out in front of you. But that might not work. You might find that you need to put your knees down, sit to the side, and bring your legs through in front of you. So we did the lift up, but then we moved the hands in front to step back. So if you're doing that through your whole practice, it's pretty exhausting. So at the beginning of your practice, you can try a few with huge waves of enthusiasm, lifting up, coming down, and then moving your hands forwards to step or hop back, lower down. Inhale to up dog, exhale to down dog. And the coming back forwards, you cross the legs at the shin, and you might sit back down behind your feet, or you just bring them through. So gradually you're kind of walking your feet through until you sit down with straight legs. So I'll show you another one. So after you've tried a few lifts, you might decide that that's enough today, and instead you're always going to start with your hands in front of your knees, where you take your shoulders forwards over the hands. You need to take your head down a little bit because you're thinking of your body as a ball. You inhale to lift your spine, straighten your legs out behind you and lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Bending the knees to look forwards, crossing the legs, bringing the legs through and straightening them out. So I crossed and then straightened, although on the very first one I came all the way through with straight legs. So I'll do one final one where you plant your hands into the floor. Inhale, lift. Exhale, straighten the legs behind you. Inhale, up dog. And exhale to your down dog. Then you could come through with straight legs. So it's just a matter of kind of lifting through the spine so you keep some height and curling in with the lower belly. So definitely it takes a lot of time. It takes years and years and years. And I always used to do a little hop. I'd be able to kind of lift up, but then I had to touch my feet down before I could get all the way back. And I definitely couldn't do it in one move. It took a very, very long time. But once it starts to come, it feels brilliant. It starts to really flow, and eventually it feels like you're kind of flying, which is an amazing sense. So, good luck.